What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. Today I want to talk to you about dungeons inside of the game and how they've been acting since the update. Have a look right here of the Cavern of Echoes. This is a Hell 3, the highest version of this dungeon that you could run right now. Check out the combat rating. 22,520 is the rating recommended for this. Much lower than we used to see at Inferno 6. Take a look at my combat rating, 34,867, and I'm not even anything super crazy strong. Maybe than many players, but there's a lot of players also stronger than me. Check out how we can run through this dungeon. Again, barely using a primary attack, just surfing through all the enemies, and this is using my new Tempest class. My new Tempest class that's not even built out that great, doesn't even have a great charm, really hasn't been refined too much yet. It's still able to just go through and melt this because of the low combat rating. I've had people, Cam was one of them, come to me and tell me about this issue and say, you know, it seems that they didn't fine tune the ratings required. Like, it looks like we're looking at a combat rating here that's from someone that has been playing a lot less time, that just hasn't had the time to build up that combat rating. Like, take a look, we just knocked that guy down, and we're doing this dungeon solo, mind you. Didn't even mention that. Weird look right there, actually, as we took down the mid-boss. Didn't even really have a final death animation or anything. That was kind of odd. Now, I did also run this the first time I tried to get a recording for you guys, and I was a straight to the boss, you know, like skip to the final boss round. Ended up getting myself 4 different treasure goblins throughout that, and I still took down that boss. As you know, they're a lot more difficult in the directly to the boss mode. Still took down the boss in, like, I don't know, 30 seconds, and I was distracted by the treasure goblins because I wanted to get as much treasure as I could from them. Just saying that dungeons are looking really easy. One positive thing about this is you could solo dungeons now really whenever you want. If you want to solo a dungeon so that you could just get your 3 done for the day and get your free secondary piece of gear, that's cool. That's a lot easier to do now. The bad thing about it is it kind of the same. It's really easy to do, and it does seem like it's a little bit of, you know, it's just too easy. There's no reason to have to wait for a party anymore, unless if you happen to want to try and get yourself gem drops because you have 4 people in your party. With this being said, if I think back to a year or so ago, a lot of people were complaining they weren't able to do dungeons alone. People that wanted to do dungeons and play solo and just be casual solo players, they weren't able to do that. Well, now that's not a thing anymore. I mean, check that out. We took this boss down in seconds, crushed it, completed the Cavern of Echoes, and really, it was just easy. So the question is this a good thing or is this a bad thing inside of the game? Actually, let me, I'm going to see if I can get you my other gameplay footage as well. All right, I have this one prepared too, so we can take a look at that in a minute. But it just seems real easy. Is this something that needs to be fixed? Is this something where you guys feel that this is just way too easy and killing the whole purpose of doing dungeons? Potentially. I'm not sure. Now, when we take a look at today, combat ratings just went up today. I'm sorry, not combat ratings, Paragon levels. The server Paragon level has just jumped to 280, confirming that our 10 Paragon levels per week is in fact how it's going to be. And after I turned in all of my battle points from the previous week, I've gotten myself to 285. So I actually gained 3 levels having waited, which would have really gained me almost nothing when I was 12 levels above Paragon level the other day. So it worked out. The build is coming along nicely. I'm really enjoying using the Tempest. I put out a video yesterday how I was kind of sharing with you that I'm really liking the class a lot more than I was ever anticipating that I would like the class, which is kind of a cool thing, you know. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I have been. Now, I guess while we finish things off here, let's go back over here and let's watch as I go into the Cavern of Echoes this time around. Let me get a little fast forward. Let's see if I could do this here. Literally just doing it on the phone. There we go. All right, we're heading in, and this is, mind you, me going in solo on a skip to the final boss round. These are always great whenever you get them, right? You're able to just jump right to the boss, get a whole bunch of treasure goblins, and really just take advantage of getting extra rewards. Notice the boss is glowing in the yellow, a more difficult boss than you're used to fighting. Typically, they take quite a bit longer to take down. Now, let's see how this goes for me. As you can see, the health of the boss, you could easily see it losing health, getting it taken down quickly. Now, I get slowed down because I get greedy. I see the treasure goblins, I want to start getting on in there. So the boss goes through its mechanic. Also, notice we were kind of going right through those beams, which will also often in the past just take me down really easily. This time around, I was able to walk right through it. Now, I did have a shield up, but I still did absolutely no damage whatsoever. Again, I'm chasing after the treasure goblins. We were able to get 4 of them in this. Treasure goblins are going down a lot quicker than they typically do as well, because remember, these treasure goblins don't go down quickly in the skip to the final boss. It seems they have a lot more HP, but we ripped this thing right here. Completely ripped it and got all the extra rewards for it. Another demonstration of how you could solo dungeons right now inside of the game very easily. Whether you're playing as the new Tempest class, this isn't that my Tempest is just so OP. This is more that the dungeons are requiring about 12,000 less combat rating than we had anticipated or than they had required in the past. Got ourselves 83 scrap out of that one too. So, how are you guys feeling about it? Have you been experiencing the same? I'm assuming you are, because it's literally how the dungeons are inside of the game. This is not a bug. This is just how dungeons are as far as combat rating go. Now, we will be getting another level. When we take a look at the difficulty levels, we're at Hell 3 right now. New difficulty level is coming at Paragon 400. So we're pretty far from that. We're 120 Paragon levels away from that right now. So that won't be coming anytime soon, although new difficulty levels were teased and said that they would be coming to the game. But it looks like we have at least 12 weeks, 3 months until we actually get that. Do you like this? It's actually quite convenient, the dungeons I'm talking about, for players that want to solo. If you're a player that doesn't really want to play with anyone else inside of Diablo Immortal, you just want to solo dungeons so you can get your dailies. You know, when you go to your codex, you can get your 3 rewards per day. Very easy to do that solo at this point in time. Was it that Blizzard realized that a lot of people were just going on follow throughout dungeons so they can get them done because they just wanted to get the rewards for the day, so they made dungeons easier, less of a difficult or less of a challenge for people to actually do them? Potentially. Or is it that it was a forgotten piece of the update and that the combat rating is actually screwed up and not where it should be? I tend to think that it's not screwed up, that they didn't just have an oversight and forget to upgrade the difficulties on dungeons. I think that this is what it's intended to be, and I guess what we'll be seeing is over the next couple of weeks if that gets patched, if that gets fixed, or if it just remains the same. I'm curious to know what you guys think about dungeons being so easy right now inside of the game.